Hello everyone, Fizzledrix here, and I have been playing Legends of Runeterra non-stop since the new set dropped, and I've been having an absolute blast playing it. And I'm sure we're going to find out what the best way to play these new champions are. The community will build the best decks eventually, the most competitive. But I like to kind of take them in an oddball, different direction, and I came up with 3 fun decks that I think you should try in Legends of Runeterra. Are they competitive? Who knows? Probably not, but they're at least a blast for me. And the first one we're going to look at is Kaisa's Bilgewater Abomination. It doesn't actually have a second champion in it right now. I'm having a tough time deciding which one fits. It also is, I kind of like every card that's in it, so finding room for that champion would be a little bit tough. But I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what champion you think fits best, or if you like the idea of it not having a champion. But the goal of the deck is to achieve Evolve as fast as possible, because these Evolve units are overstated when you achieve the Evolve status. And what is the Evolve status? Well, the Evolve keyword says that I have +2/+2 once you summon allies with 6+ positive keywords this game. It's like Deep, but with 1 less power, but way easier to level up, and you don't have to put cards that drain your own deck of cards in order for it to be good. And it achieves Evolve quickly by using Prowling Cutthroat, who comes with 2 keywords, Plunder Poro, who probably comes with 2 different keywords, as well as the other evolved units, in order to achieve 6 keywords very quickly, as early as turn 2 possibly, which allows us to get some serious value out of our evolved units, and allows us to drop Kaisa leveled up on turn 5. Bilgewater also has access to Island Navigator, which is a solid body and adds a cheap scout option for Kaisa to steal, because level 2 Kaisa with scout is a game ender. This deck also has a very powerful late game win condition in a Void Abomination. We all know how powerful late game bombs with keyword soup can be. Pantheon and Arsenal come to mind, but they have to rely completely randomly on what keywords they get. Hopefully you get the ones you want. But what if I told you there was an 8 mana 7/6 that you can almost guarantee comes with Elusive, Fearsome, Scout, Spell Shield, Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and whatever randomest Plunder Poro, Voidling, or the Husk give you? I often drop this 8-drop and just win that turn. I didn't climb into the Masters last season, so I started off in Silver, and I used this deck to go all the way through Silver in just a few hours off screen. It will no doubt need refining, but it feels competitive. Alright, and the next deck that I have for you is Hallowed Spawn, featuring Gwen and Illaoi. This is actually the deck I played the most on stream last night, and it went through a ton of changes, but the goal of the deck is to trigger Illaoi's keyword Hollow as many times as possible, and then you profit in the late game via Tentacles. The payoff is that the Tentacles will get the Hallowed buff when attacking, which they can exploit with C's Voice, giving them Overwhelm, or by Illaoi herself, who will essentially double your Hallowed buff. This deck practically builds itself, but we realized it needed to focus harder on Hallowed and only use Spawn as a win con. We even snuck in a cheeky combo with Splinter Soul, as it can be used with Illaoi or level 2 Gwen to get some pretty powerful attacks. There may be some better ways to build a Gwen, but this one is probably my favorite so far. Our last deck might just be the silliest of all, but perhaps my favorite, and it is called Professor Von Husk. This deck features Evelynn and her new Husk mechanic, and Professor Von Yip. Also Timo's here. But the whole purpose of the deck is really to focus on this card, Von Yip. I've always been a big fan of this card for what it does, but the truth is, it's always have some inbuilt problems. He needs to be built in a deck with a lot of 1-drops, which is an issue because ideally you'd want to play those 1-drops before turn 5 after you drop Von Yip. And even if you do drop them afterwards, 1-drops aren't really that impressive even with a +2/+2 buff. On top of that, he is a must-kill threat with only 3 health that your opponent can easily remove, and since you built your entire deck around him, if you don't see him, your deck kind of sucks. Well, enter Evelynn and her Husks. Not only can you play Husks ahead of Vonyip to give him extra health and a possible defensive keyword, but the Husks you play after him will give their stats to better units like Evelynn or Teemo. This can create some powerful board states. While the deck's power skyrockets when you have Vonyip, the Husk package is decent without him, and you can get wins without drawing him. This is probably the most fun deck, but also least competitive of the three, but I highly recommend getting a few games in with it. And that's it. Those are our 3 decks. They are a ton of fun. I hope you enjoy playing them. I hope you enjoy the content, the video. If you do, hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. We feature wacky decks like this all the time on this channel, as well as a full series called Champion Slot Machine, where we use a random number generator to determine what 2 champions we have to build a deck out of. We'll actually be featuring one of these champions in Champion Slot Machine tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. So hopefully I'll see you there, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.